I gotta admit something right out of the gate. It is incredibly frustrating to do all the reading, take meticulous notes, sit in a classroom for an hour, and yet still walk out feeling completely invisible.
I hear that literally all the time. I've been a teacher and a mentor for 20 years, and so many students feel exactly the way you do. They're terrified of dominating the conversation, or maybe they're just naturally shy. But imagine walking out of class tomorrow knowing your teacher genuinely noticed your thinking. Not because you were the loudest, but because you made a few small strategic contributions.
Welcome to today's explainer, where we're gonna fix exactly this. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're gonna quickly cover the big truth, answer with a reason, ask to move forward, advance an idea, the 3-minute prep, and finally, we'll wrap up with the classroom challenge.
All right, let's dive right into section 1, the big truth. So here's my biggest question. How do I actually get noticed without being the loudest person in the room? Because I really don't want to be that annoying person who just talks way too much.
And you absolutely don't have to be. You don't need to answer every single question, and you certainly don't need to sound like a total know-it-all. You just need to show that you're actively engaged in what's happening.
Think of it like this. Imagine two students in the exact same class. Both completely understand the text, both did all the homework. But during a 90-minute lesson, student 1 stays completely silent. Their thoughts remain entirely invisible to everyone else. The teacher has literally zero evidence of their understanding.
Ouch. Yeah, that silent student is definitely me most of the time.
Hey, it happens. But student 2 doesn't dominate the class either. They just do 3 small things to make their learning visible. You have to remember, teachers can't read your mind. They just need some actual evidence of your academic thinking. And here is how student 2 does it, using what we call the 3A rule. Step 1, they answer one question. Step 2, they ask one useful question. And step 3, they advance another student's idea.
Wow, okay, that is actually a huge relief. You're basically saying I just need to show a pattern of listening and thinking rather than feeling this immense pressure to talk constantly.
Exactly. Over time, the teacher starts to think, wow, this student reflects and develops ideas, rather than, wow, this student talks a lot.
Moving right along to section 2, answer with a reason.
See, I think the reason I never speak up is that I feel like my answer has to be totally groundbreaking. If it's just a simple fact, I'd rather just keep quiet. That is such a common trap. The secret isn't having a mind-blown fact. It's simply adding the word because to show your reasoning. Think of it like connecting puzzle pieces, rather than just tossing out a single rock. So instead of a one-word answer like loneliness, you'd say, I think the character feels lonely because she avoids telling anyone what she's actually feeling. That one single word, because, makes your reasoning completely visible.
And here's a little mentor secret for you. 70%. You only need to be 70% sure of your answer before you speak up.
Wait, really? Just 70%? That is so incredibly relieving. I always sit there waiting until I am 100% sure. And honestly, by then, the topic has already completely changed.
Exactly. You are practicing visibility, not perfection. If you wait for 100% certainty, the moment is already gone.
Okay, let's look at section 3, ask to move forward.
Okay, I like this, but I always feel so fake asking questions. Like I'm just fishing for participation points, and everyone in the room knows it.
I completely get that fear. But asking a question shifts your role from just sitting there waiting to be tested to actively helping the class explore the topic. Try using these adaptable starters. Why do you think that happens? Or could there be another explanation? Or even, would that still be true if we changed this variable? You aren't forcing anything. You're actually helping the whole room think one step further.
Which brings us to section 4, advance an idea. Honestly, this is your secret weapon. Here is the exact script for the strongest contribution you can make in any classroom. I agree with Emma, and I want to add X because Y. Oh wow, the immense relief I am feeling right now is crazy. You're telling me I don't need to invent a totally original thought to sound smart? I can literally just build on what someone else already said? Yes! And you aren't just repeating their point, you're being a genuinely good collaborator. You listened, you respected their idea, and you added depth to it. It transforms the classroom from a competition into a really meaningful shared contribution.
Let's talk about getting ready. Section 5, the 3-minute prep.
Yeah, I really need a safety net for this. I have to confess, right before I try to speak in class, my heart just races, my mind completely goes blank, and I literally freeze up.
That physical anxiety is so common, and it's totally normal. That's exactly why I recommend this 3-minute prep before class even starts. Just jot down 3 quick things. Step 1,
prepare one point you could answer. Step 2, prepare one thing you're curious to ask. And Step 3, prepare one connection based on the reading. By doing this, you walk in with something tangible to say, so you aren't just sitting there hoping confidence magically appears out of nowhere.
Because here is the absolute truth. Confidence almost always comes after evidence. You have to tip the scales by taking a low-risk chance to speak while you're still nervous.
So I shouldn't just wait around until I feel brave?
Right. Just get your voice in the room. Read a sentence out loud. Summarize a basic point. When you speak and nothing terrible happens, you give your brain the hard evidence it needs to feel brave the next time around.
Just be absolutely sure to avoid these 3 big mistakes. First, talking just for attention. You gotta leave room for others.
Yeah, for sure. We all know that one person who talks just to hear their own voice.
Exactly, we've all been there. Aim for quality, not just noise. The second mistake is waiting until you are completely perfect. Remember that 70% rule we talked about? And third, making it all about you. Use that advanced step to make the whole conversation better for everyone in the room.
All right, we've made it to the final step, Section 6, the Classroom Challenge. I am officially challenging you and everyone watching this explainer right now. In your very next class, I want you to make one answer, ask one question, and make one contribution that builds on another student's idea. Challenge absolutely accepted. I'm going to keep reminding myself of the main takeaway here. Strive to be useful, not impressive.
That is absolutely perfect. And as you walk out of your next class, I want you to ask yourself these 3 reflective questions. Did I show what I know? Did I show that I think? And did I show that I listen?
This has been so incredibly helpful. It really takes the pressure off. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Remember, teachers don't remember the students who make the most noise. They remember the ones who make the room better. So, what evidence of your thinking are you going to leave in the room tomorrow?